Let's be real for a second. You've probably consumed more financial content than any generation in history. You got the apps, you got the newsletters, you've got the podcasts, and yet you still feel behind. Well, we're going to cut through all of that noise because we're about to explain why the most powerful financial plan is also the simplest. So simple, in fact, it can fit on a single piece of paper.
I want you to let that sink in. All the noise, all the jargon, the constant flood of new strategies, it isn't actually designed to make you wealthy. No, it's designed to keep you clicking, keep you watching, and keep you feeling like you just need one more piece of information. So let's just start by calling out the problem. Why is it that the more we try to get smart about our money, the more uncertain and overwhelmed we end up feeling? I mean, does this sound familiar? You wake up, and before your first cup of coffee, your phone's already buzzing with notifications about what the market's doing. You hear about someone up 300% on some crazy trade, or a coworker mentions a hot new stock. By 9 a.m., you already feel like you're losing the game. And I'm telling you, that is not an accident. It's the design. This right here, this is the system we're all swimming in. Every single time you feel that sense of overwhelm, you actually become a more valuable consumer. You click more, you subscribe to more stuff. Maybe you buy a course, or you hire someone who promises they can decode all the noise for you. But what if the real secret isn't about decoding the noise, but just ignoring it? All right, so enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution, because building real, lasting wealth isn't about some complex secret strategy. It really just starts with two foundational rules that are almost, well, offensively simple, but they are incredibly powerful. Okay, rule number 1, spend less than you earn. And look, this isn't about depriving yourself. It's about creating a gap. That space between what you make and what you spend, that is the raw material for building wealth, period. Then, rule 2, save 10 to 20% of every single paycheck automatically. This is what people mean when they say pay yourself first. You move the money before you even have a chance to see it or spend it. You take willpower completely out of the equation. So the big takeaway here, building wealth starts with a simple, consistent habit that just works for you in the background. It's not about finding some magic bullet investment. So you're saving money now. Awesome. But where does it go? Well, this next rule is going to contradict pretty much everything the financial industry screams at you every single day. Because it turns out the real secret to successful investing is often doing less, not more. That's it. That's the rule. Not the hot stock your buddy mentioned, not some super complex fund with a fancy brochure, just simple, boring, low-cost index funds. And to show you why this is so powerful, let's just run a little thought experiment. Now, what's so fascinating here is the psychology of it all. Just look at the irony on this slide. The active investor, they feel engaged, they feel informed, they feel smart. Meanwhile, the index investor feels like they're not really doing enough. But after 30 years, who wins? It's the index investor. And it's not even close. Why? 2 big reasons. They pay almost nothing in fees, and, crucially, they don't freak out and sell everything when the market gets a little scary. So remember this, your goal isn't to be an active investor, it's to be a successful one. And success comes from minimizing your costs and just staying the course, not from constant tinkering. Okay, so building wealth is one thing, but keeping it, that's a whole other ballgame. These next 2 rules, they're your defensive plays. They're not sexy, they're not exciting, but they are what stops one bad year from turning into a catastrophic decade. First up, insurance. Let's be clear, it is not an investment, it's a shield. One major medical event without the right coverage can wipe out years and years of disciplined saving. Gone. Second, consumer debt. That credit card balance with a 22% interest rate, it is actively working against you every minute of every day. It's like a negative investment, just systematically taking apart the wealth you're trying to build. You know, think of it like a sports team. Offense scores points, sure, but defense wins championships. These 2 rules are your defense. They protect your progress from getting wiped out by a single bad break. And now for the final rule. It might sound like a cliche, but trust me, this is the one true structural advantage you have over all the pros on Wall Street. Okay, here's why this is so important. A professional fund manager, they're judged every 90 days. They literally can't afford to have a few bad quarters. Even if they know their strategy is going to work out in the long run, they are forced to think short term. But you're not. You have the one thing they can't buy: time, and the ability to simply do nothing.
And this slide right here shows you what that time does. Just look at this timeline. For the first few years, you can see it's almost flat. It feels like nothing is happening. And this is where most people get bored or they get scared and they quit. But if you can just stay in the game, you eventually hit what's called the bend. That point around year 15 where the curve just starts to shoot straight up. So what's the takeaway? When you're in those early years and you feel like nothing's happening, just remember this curve. Your only job is to stay invested long enough to get to the bend.
Okay, so let's bring all of this together. The plan itself is just one page. The discipline, that's for a lifetime. So here's your challenge, and I'm serious. Grab a piece of paper, open a notes app on your phone, whatever. We're gonna build your plan right now.
Ask yourself this, honestly. If you can't explain your own financial strategy in a simple sentence or two, it's a huge sign that it's just too complex for you to follow consistently. So your challenge for right now is to identify just one area you can simplify. Is it the number of accounts you have, the number of funds you own, the amount of news you consume? Just pick one thing. This is it, the whole shebang. This is your entire plan. Write it down, what you earn, your savings rate, that 10 to 20%, where it's invested, simple, low-cost index funds, your plan to get rid of any high-interest debt, what insurance you have protecting you, and finally, one single sentence about what all of this is for. That's it. Put this page somewhere you'll see it every single day. This is your anchor in a sea of complete noise. You see, you don't need to be smarter than the market. You don't need more information. The people who actually win this game are the ones who follow a few simple rules consistently for a long, long time, especially after it stops feeling new and exciting. The edge you've been looking for, it wasn't hidden in some secret, complex strategy. The edge was always just a page of simple rules. Let's be real.